And this was a near-death experience. This is not something that we can say a so-called emergency, as Usher's attorney called it. This is a real emergency. I don't know if my son is going to have a brain defect. I don't know that his heart is operating correctly. I don't know that my son is going to be 100% the boy he was that before this incident. I don't know that. I have no proof of that. And to say it's a so-called emergency, it is a very much an emergency, very much so. The fact that Nayvid, who barely swims, was trying to be brave to jump in the water after his brother, Usher, the father, my child, and the videotape at his house proves that Nayvid did it. Nayvid told me he did it. He jumped into 8 feet of water. He can't even swim. He was trying to save his brother.
So if
that's chaos.
So
Okay.
I've been there since 4 o'clock, 3:50 the day of the accident, and I left this morning at 9:45. I've not left the hospital ever.
And Ms. Raymond, I know this is very difficult. But
This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
All right, step down, ma'am.
Thank you.
Step down.
Judge, if I can ask her just one more question.
Yeah.
Step up, please. You raise your right hand. You swear or affirm that the testimony you about to give is supposed to say the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God.
Well, the children, when anywhere, not just the pool, have an understanding that when their names are called, that they stop, look, and listen, be it inside of the house, be it in public. There's an array of different things that I attempt to do with my kids to work on their behavior. However, they are 4 and 5, and children, will be children, but that is part of rearing the kids. In terms of the pool specifically, not to run around the pool is one. Never to jump in the pool unless an adult is there, as there never is, because there's always someone either 2 steps behind or absolutely right there or inside of the pool with the kids.
Yes, and that's what I said. You do not update Miss Raymond on your travel plans. So she does not know when you're here and when you're not here. Is that correct?
Again, this is not an emergency.
Well, the emergency judge is that she...
No, ma'am, an emergency means life and death. It means these kids are in danger and they need to be somewhere else. The fact that your client doesn't get communications from time to time from Mr. Raymond is not an emergency. It just is not an emergency. As I said, there may be a time when that will be relevant in the future with respect to the larger issue as to whether or not custody should be permanently changed. But it certainly has no bearing on the emergency. So please, if you've got something that relates to an emergency condition, address it. If not, please end your conversation.
If I can just have one moment, Your Honor.
What happened here was an awful accident. And I don't know, and based on the evidence I heard, I'm not certain that had any single person been at the poolside, that one person could have done any better than Miss Oden. Miss Oden did in fact impress me as a very capable caregiver, and I would submit to you that your standards for caregivers are rather high. I think most of the people in this room have been cared for by a grandmother or an aunt or a neighbor. I don't think there's anything remarkable about that. And those people that cared for us or our kids probably didn't have all the certifications you seem to require for the kids in this case. So I'm denying or dismissing the motion, but I will say, Mr. Raymond, in the future, you would be well advised to keep your former spouse informed about your whereabouts and who is taking care of the kids. That will be a feature, perhaps, in this case as it moves forward, or the companion case as it moves forward. understand.
Matt, ready the order on. Floor's over. Thank you. Thank you.